Okay, this is Aaron with Exalted Lamb, and man, I am super tired. I had a couple hours of sleep last night. I couldn't stop dreaming about all this stuff and the importance of all this stuff. And here I see that Julian, I just got home, ate, and just saw that Julian T had put up a video about, and I didn't see it at all. I just saw the title, something about 9 p.m. earthquake on 9/14, which is today, and tsunami or something like that. And I haven't even got a chance to look at it. I don't have the time. I wanted to get this out to you guys as fast as possible. So, Father, I just want to pray to you first, and I want to thank you for all that you've done, how you've energized me, and how you're getting the word out to many of your children, how you're getting the word out to other people that don't necessarily even believe in you. Father, I just want to thank you for energizing me and giving me strength right now because I am just super tired and I'm kind of punchy right now, actually. So, and Lord Jesus, I just thank you for opening the hearts and minds of people to see this evidence, see this understanding. And even though it's iPad Goat 2, which is a very wicked movie, you've used it for your good. You've used it for enlightening the eyes of people so they can see what kind of horrors are coming, what kind of horrible things that the enemy has ahead of time, so that there can be some preparation. And you have sounded the alarm in my heart. You have made it available for me to know more of these things, and for people come before me like J.K. Bugout and Julian T. And these subscribers that I have, the wonderful subscribers. I'm not going to mention every single person, but I'm just giving credit to subscribers. I've mentioned their names before, and I want to mention everybody up front. Julian T, J.K. Bugout. Man, I'm concerned about J.K. right now. I haven't talked to him for about a month. I left a message on his voicemail, and he hasn't made a video for 2 weeks. So if I ask you guys to pray for him, I credit a lot of understanding about timeline, everything to him, and of course Julian T as well. But there's some things that J.K. has really made available to me, and understanding that he shared with his subscribers and stuff on his videos that is second to nobody. And then Julian, he's got a special niche. I mean, he sees things that no one else sees, and I'm so thankful to you, Julian. And I cannot wait to watch your video right as I get done with mine, because I thank God, I've been asking for confirmations of times and dates and everything. And so as soon as I got home, I had dinner, and I want to look at my messages because I've been kind of communicating when I was at work today with some people on my channel, just because I don't know, it just kind of motivates me, and I think about them and think about what I want to do for people. And then here's his stuff. His channel just popped up in just the area where it's like who YouTube recommends, and then I go to my subscriptions, and then of course he's in there. But he was right at the top of the recommendations. I don't know how that works and how their algorithms work or whatever, but it was right at the top, and I saw the headline of his video, and I'm like, oh my goodness, cannot believe this. So, Father, I just thank you for just opening the eyes and inspiring me right now in Jesus' name. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. Okay, I'm going to go through this whole video. And I'm not going to hit everything, but I'm going to hit the stuff that's impertinent, that's important, the things that the Lord has shown either through JK, through Julian, and a lot of it's things He's shown me as well, and some subscribers and all that stuff. Some of mine, some of theirs. So this is kind of a hodgepodge of all that. And so, because I won't remember everybody who thought of every single thing and found every single thing. So I'm giving everybody credit right now. Amanda and Alicia and yes, you know who you are and all that. Give me so much. I just thank you. She's given me so much. And some things I use, some things I don't. It depends on what people say and things. So but I want to give the biggest glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He's the guy who has been showing me things. He's the guy that's been putting things in my heart and my mind. And I am so thankful for you, Lord. I'm so thankful for what you're doing and how you care about people. And you're putting this out. I'm putting this out because of you and what you've done and what you're showing me and what you're showing others, what you're showing my daughter, what you're showing my wife in this as well. I can't keep out my family. My family has just been so amazing. I want to thank my family, my wife and my daughter, who've been and I'm going to actually mention a couple things my daughter pointed out. So it is awesome. It's just a collaborative effort. So here we go. Without further ado, here we go. So And here's the beginning where it shows, you know, this is this little knob. I don't even know what you call it, but it holds the barbed wire in. But it is actually the beginning of the timeline, I believe, in this opening scene with this goat's head popping out. And that, I believe, is the lunar eclipse that happened on July 27th through 28th. Okay, and then it's showing this. We're going into the 6th month right here, which is the month of the goat. And then, of course, you have the Wushu year, which is the year of the dog. You have the dog here and all that. I won't get into everything, but this is the mountain at Hawaii. And I've shared this with, I've kind of shown this, that this is the Hawaiian Islands here. So let me play this a little bit and show you, just talk about a few things. And I kind of have the volume kind of low, so you can just, mainly, you can hear a little bit of volume maybe, but you just see the imagery. And this is kind of slow motion, because I want to be able to pick out things. So his eyes are spinning here, see? And then there's 1, 2, 3 goats. 1, 2, 3. So I thought of 2 eyes and 1 head, or 3 complete images that are blurred, 3 images, as 3 hurricanes. And again, like I said, 3 hurricanes hit. First it was Lane, then it was Norman, and then it was Olivia. Okay? And of course, Hector touched, so there was a message. Like I said in one of my last videos, the longest video, I think, Hector touched, and there's messages in all these. They all are associated with Barack Obama and Gematria, which he's the Antichrist, I believe, and it shows that in this video. And I've shared it with so many things. So I want to draw your attention to this. Let me see 1 second here. Right here. Okay. Now I don't have the image upside down, but you can see it yourself. I saw this as an 11 before, but I didn't see the 9 until just recently. Here's the 9 right here upside down. And again, a lot of things are completely confirmed when they're backwards and upside down, because that's what the devil does. He does backwards and upside down, or he does backwards, or he does upside down, but he does backwards and upside down a lot. And here you go. We got 9 right here. See, upside down. 1, 1, 9, 11. And that's a big association, because we have those rituals that happened on 9/11. What Trump said at that memorial, what was it called, the Tower of Voices in Pennsylvania, where allegedly that plane, the jet crashed, and then we had the 9/11. We had that eye, that winged oculus, open up for the first time, like the serpent eye. When you look at it from above, it looks like a serpent's eye. A really weird looking serpent's eye. When you look at it from the street, it looks like some kind of alien, white alien with bones sticking out and everything. Like I showed in my video, it's ridiculous. And all this, there's other things going on for this whole rituals, several rituals that they were doing to bring in what I'm going to talk about here. Okay, so that was on 9/11, and so that's of course marked out right here. Excuse me, my throat's a little bit funky here, and I'm pretty tired. And again, remember we had the red consonants here, which symbolize the sacrificial goat, and the white sacrifice, the scapegoat that's let go. And I mentioned that in my last video. Okay, there's some other stuff here, but I'm gonna kind of move on here to get to the meat and the stuff that I really want to get to as far as timing and things. And again, we're right here in the month of the goat, which is the 6th lunar calendar month, which is the Chinese lunar calendar. And I'll touch on that a little bit later again. One thing too. So again, for people who haven't seen all my videos, this is 9/11 number 2. So 9/11 was an attack on the United States that was used to blame somebody else, so we go to war. And I think that's going to be the similar situation. So they could blame it on natural, and it's going to look natural at first probably, but I think what they're going to do, my hunch is, my guess, is that they're going to blame these destructive things on either Russia or North Korea or somebody that we're having issues with right now. And so we fully launch into World War III. Okay? So here we go. One more thing. Back here in the background, you see these are the 2 towers smoking here. So this is the second 9/11. This is the first 9/11 right here. In a sense, it also shows kind of like 2, like right here, but it's the second 9/11. Okay, and then this is the first time we see the hands of the character that's introduced. His name is Draco. If you go to Heliofont's website, HELIOFANT.com, pretty sick and everything, but they name all the different characters. His name is Draco, and he's later in it with these sharp teeth, and his face looks like it's on from money and stuff. He's got these scaly hands and everything. And I want to ask some people if they can. I know this is probably Satan as the serpent for S, or serpent and Satan, and this is this is a bleeding heart, and I can't quite understand what's all this reference to a heart. Now I was thinking maybe, Hawaii is like the heart of America or something. It's going to be attacked first, and maybe New York is also the heart of America as far as financial, and it's a symbol and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to strike right at the heart, but. And then over here, I'm not sure what this is. So if anybody gets an idea what this is, I was thinking it might be Hawaii again, but it doesn't quite fit the thing. But there's some stuff going on here. So I just want to point that out. Nothing more at this moment. And he's manipulating Bush. Okay, which of course Satan is working behind all these people. Okay, and in the beginning here's Bush. Okay, and you see this red light finding him, and he does the boom sign. Boom. His hands up like that. Just the boom. It's called the boom sign. The reason I call it the boom sign is because there was a little short or something about the Invictus Games. You can look it up with Obama, and then you had the Queen, and you had Prince Harry, and look it up. It's Invictus Games with Prince Harry and the Queen and the Obamas, Michelle and Barack, and they were basically they got a call. The Queen and Harry got a call from Barack Obama, and it said FLOTUS, which is First Lady of the United States, and it had 923 on it or whatever, I forget what it was. And then both Prince Harry and the Queen are looking at a picture of these guys running in the Invictus Games, and one of them has 239, which is the number for plutonium, and the other one has another number, I can't remember, but anyway. And then they say, oh, it's on for the Invictus Games, and then they go boom, and they do the hand sign like that, and they go boom, and then on the other side, on this phone, when they're looking on the phone, like they're doing this, like Skype or something like that on their phones, and they go, oh, it's on, and the bombers go boom with their hand. I think it was the one of the security guard or Secret Service do it with his hand, this boom sign. So this is boom. This is nuclear attack. What I believe is nuclear attack. And so in the beginning, it's showing what I believe, different than other people, maybe Julian, maybe JK or whatever, or anybody else. The beginning is showing the goat and the sacrifice and all that stuff, and then its head spinning over Hawaii, the 3 hurricanes. So that's how it's going to start. That's how 9/11 is going to start. And then right after that, I believe this is showing how it's going to end. And then it shows you everything in the middle, okay, from beginning to end also, so it's a bunch of different timelines. You got little pieces here and there. You got whole timelines. It kind of reminds me, in a sense, of a dark version of Revelation, the book of Revelation, because if you know Revelation at all the different chapters. Some chapters, there's a few chapters that go together, and then they're a chronology. There are a bunch of different chronologies slapped together, and it's hard for most people to discern because they think it's from left to right, and it's from chapter 1 to chapter 22 or 20, whatever it is. I think off the top of my head. But no, this thing bounces all around. There's several different, iPad Go bounces all around it. There's several different timelines in here, and then you just got to kind of figure it out. Okay, so here we go with Bush. Okay, I didn't get this completely right. Let me go back just a tad here. I gotta slow this down a little bit more. I wanted to show you something here. Okay, remember, so this really parallels in several places. The whole thing is really about the Revelation 12 sign. Okay, in fact, here it is right here. In fact, J.K. first pointed this out. J.K. Bugout. And he said basically that this is a 1 and this is a 2, that makes 12, and then this is a 4, and then the star, which is lit up kind of like a spotlight in a star shape, is pointing to the dragon, and that's Revelation 12:4 is when the dragon's introduced to devour the child, and so a lot of this is about devouring the child, And 9/11, number 2, is about devouring the child before it can be taken up to heaven. And that's what a lot of people have not talked about. Even, JK, and he's talked about it, but he doesn't believe the Revelation 12 sign was real. And I know it is. And I have dreams, and my daughter had dreams, and there's just all kinds of stuff that we have. I'm not getting all of it, but it is real. And this is actually showing their version of it. And yeah, it's also used, that sign in the heavens, as an occultic thing with the birthing of Jupiter, which is really Nimrod, which is really the Antichrist being birthed, and all that stuff. So, again, like I've said in all my videos, the main theme that I'm sharing with all these videos is that God has his light side of the coin, and the devil has his dark side of the coin, and they're parallel. They run in parallel with each other because the enemy uses what God has already set forth as timing and events and all that kind of stuff, and then he makes his own with his own symbology and everything like that. So that's how this works. So he's kind of playing and dancing, and then what I believe is going to happen is that he's going to basically say, hey, this craziness is happening, and then I'm going to show you kind of a timeline here. So let's go to the next thing. Speed it up a little bit. And then he shoots back into the chair. Okay, now we're going to slow it down a little bit. Okay, now watch this. Okay, so right away, the star shifts, and it points to the shark, and then it starts to point to the East Coast. And so this is showing, hey, this is an event right here. The shark, which is a submarine, and it's an Aquila-class submarine, which is a Russian sub. And I'll talk about that later. JK has done a bunch of stuff about that. And it's pointing to the East Coast here. It's going up the East Coast, kind of maybe where even, well, anyway, just shows starting with Florida, and then it's going up. Now watch. And while it's going up to the top there, stop. It's also showing this house here, and I've talked about that in my last video. In fact, this is crazy because Julian T and I had both a very similar read of the house on fire. It was from Massachusetts, and I'd seen this before, the M, and then I think he just said some other stuff about it, and I said that with the A in there and stuff. And then I checked out his video after I did mine. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then he now has something which is about the timing I'm going to be talking about. So, man, we're in sync on several things. And again, like I said, I wouldn't be anywhere without Julian T's understanding in the beginning. And I wouldn't be anywhere without JK's understanding in the beginning. I mean, I feel like I'm standing on shoulders of giants, and that's how I can see, in my perspective, what's going on, what the Lord wants me to see, to share with you. Okay, I'm not comparing myself to them or anything, and in fact, I'm just super thankful. Without them, I'd be nowhere. I wouldn't understand how any of this works. I wouldn't understand how the imagery works, and so I'm just going my own path to kind of show what I think I see based on what the Lord, I think, is showing me. Okay, and other people. So, again, this was that fire in Massachusetts, which starts this time there's a timeline here. So I think this is showing this left to right. There's a timeline here. It's saying, hey, there's going to be eventually an East Coast attack, and then now it's saying this is the first event, and then this is going to be the second event, and then eventually it's going to be this event here. Okay, so here we go. It says, fool me once. And by the way, I want to mention this. I'm going to do this here and there. I've noticed this, and no one's been able to answer my question on this. I don't know why, but right here in his eyebrows, this is a locust or a grasshopper. I think it's, technically it would be called a locust. And then this is a bunny. I know what the white rabbit is. It's a kind of an occulted thing, like in, what do you call it? No, yeah, it was on the Matrix, Follow the White Rabbit, but it's also an Alice in Wonderland. That's what it was, Alice in Wonderland. And, the Follow the White Rabbit down the rabbit hole. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit here. But so I don't know if anybody has any ideas what this means. A locust over here and the white rabbit. I'm not sure. So, but let's move on. Also, if you see anything else in here that you think is pertinent, or the Lord shows you something, or you get inspired or something, let me know in the comments, please. I mean, I think we're really close to this event, but whatever you can share, that would be great, so we can get more of an understanding, all of us together, and I'll maybe add it later or something. Okay, now right here. So he's shaking his hand a little bit right here, and he's pointing to, like I said before, this third spot. Now, we won't talk about this thing, but this third thing, this is, and I'm going to show you where this refers to it here, maybe even a minute here. But this is corroborated, and what this is, by another image. And I'm going to show you that in a second, just so I can have that done. Now, notice up here, the clock is at midnight as well. We also have an evolutionary scale here, and then right here is basically what they believe. They're going to go from 9 to 3, and the Antichrist can be revealed as Helios, which is, in a sense, the spikes that are coming out of the Statue of Liberty's head are the 7 rays of Helios. It's also, there's several names for this idea, which is really the birth of the Antichrist, the Titan, I mean, Nimrod reborn, Jupiter, I mean, all these names. But he's pointing to this, and I believe it's the third hurricane, okay? And then he has his arm wrapped around the shark, which is, of course, a submarine attack. We know that NASA sent a submarine to the coast of Hawaii on the 20th of August, and I believe it's been sitting there until this event, even under the cover of 3 hurricanes that have come, and it's ready to go. It's ready to shoot a torpedo or something at Helena Slump, and the East Rift Zone is going to fall into the ocean, causing a mega tsunami, unfortunately. And like I said, I've really struggled on all this stuff. But I believe that's what he's pointing to right now. And again, his arms are on this, and it's associated with that, with the third one right there. So I think this is the first event in the situation here, which is next. Okay, I take that back. This is the first, because you saw the star. This is the first right here. It's left to right on the chalkboard. This is the first, and then this is the second one. Okay, so we had this on the 13th. I think this could be the 14th, and I'm going to talk about that, or the 15th, okay, which is today, tonight, or tomorrow night. I'm leaning more towards tonight. I cannot believe the timing on this. This is crazy. I would have liked to have more notice than this, and I'm sure you would have too. But it could be tomorrow night as well. I don't know. And I'll show you all the evidence I have. So here it is. This is the first event, I think, the Massachusetts and the fires and things. This might mean something else as well, but I know this is Massachusetts and houses on fire and all these crazy houses that they zap with this microwave weapon that they've used for these so-called wildfires, which have basically reduced houses to ash, which doesn't happen on a wildfire if you look into it. And then trees around them are completely fine. They're completely preserved. It makes no sense. And also, when they did this in California, I mean, literally, they would zap cars and they'd be completely just destroyed, like they were in a crematorium or something like that, or, you know, in a furnace. And then, but certain parts of it would be completely, the plastic would be completely preserved, but the metal would melt down the street and stuff like that. It was just, it's crazy. If you ever look at that, it's like a crime scene, and no regular fire describes it. It makes no sense. Okay, except for being a microwave weapon. Okay, so there's that. Now we'll just go to the next one here. Oh, I'll go back to the TAD here. Oh. Okay, now, like I said, so he basically is pointing at the third one. His arm's still up there. From the other perspective that we just saw, his arm's still around the shark back here. He's still pointing to the third one, and now he's looking at a dead person. Okay, and I think this is the dead sheep, because the tongue sticking out is a dead sheep. In fact, I've shown how Hawaii not only looks like a goat, it also has this little tongue sticking out like a dead sheep. And this is a common theme. Demons, through artwork and different things, they show dead sheep on all kinds of stuff because they're looking for the day of the dead sheep. In fact, there's a famous picture out there. You can look it up. Obama winking with his tongue out. And he's winking because he knows about the secret about the day of the dead sheep, which is 6:23 that they show in this hand signal over their eye. And sometimes they wink and sometimes they stick their tongue out. And so 6:23 is 9:23, going from 9 to 3, which now I believe it's actually 9:23, like I had a dream, and I'll get into that more. Okay, so, but he's looking right at this, and how we know he's looking at it is because it's sharp, and the background should be fuzzy like it is here and here, and the foreground should be sharp, which it is, but this is sharp. So he's looking at that while he's has his arm around the shark pointing to the third thing. So there's going to be dead people from this, which is just so sick. But anyway, here we go. And then he's doing something with his fingers. I mean, that's anyway, I don't know exactly what he's doing. If someone knows. Okay, there's something here. I won't get into it right now. And I think here basically he's showing that he's dying just like this, I think. Maybe it's something else. But the other thing I was thinking about is this D that he has, which is, I don't think it's for dunce, because that's obviously a dunce cap. And no one has to see a D on here. I think possibly, and I'm going to get into this, is that the D is the first event. And then it goes backwards. D, C, B, A. And Bug Out had talked about this. J.K. Bug Out has talked about something like this, but he didn't have the events. Now I'm thinking because his head's right in front of the first event, and above where the Massachusetts firehouse is, you can see a D, a little D. And so his head's like right over that. And so I think that could be the first event. And he's confirming that with his dunce cap and his head over that event. Okay? I think that's what it might be. Okay? So some of these things I'm speculating, some things I know a little bit more because I have more corroborating evidence. But this is where we're at right now. And then it looks like the shark kind of hit him in the back of the head to me. Okay, now, Julian T has talked about this a little bit, and I think that, and similar to what he thinks, and I've seen this before, and I think, I don't know if I thought or saw before him or whatever, but I agree. It's 20, I think this is a 2, and this is a 3, but I don't know if he has anything else in there, but I think this is probably a 9 right here. It's just kind of a faint 9, and then this is 2 and a 3. Oop. I'll go back here a little bit. Wait, hold on. This is weird. I'm not used to this, so bear with me here. Okay, so I think this is a 9, possibly this a little 9 right here, and 23923, which is about this the final event, okay, which is on 923, I believe, and I'll get more information about that. But I think there's possibly 3 attacks going on at that time. And what I'm thinking, and I've heard Julian talk about this, and I can't remember exactly what he says about it, but I think it could be, I think he said London here, and then Tokyo possibly, and then New York. I can't remember exactly how he said it, but he kind of brought my attention to these ideas. And so this is what I'm saying. It might be matching what he said or it might be different. I don't know. But I think these are 3 nuclear attacks on London, Tokyo, and New York at the same time. And by the way, there's Helene heading towards the UK right now. And so, and then of course Florence, which means blooming flower, which is the blooming of the Antichrist, and this thing in this whole movie is basically the Antichrist blooming. And so I think these are going to be 3 possible nuclear attacks, and you have London, Tokyo, and New York, because we are kind of allies, and they want to make sure that the ones who have a chance to be against the New World Order are taken out. They have any kind of goodness in their people and all that kind of stuff. That's what I think anyway. So we have UK, we have Japan, and we have United States with the final attacks. And I think that's what this means. It also says over here, I think it says IMQ. So we have these letters out on the side. It says IMQ. Remember Q, QAnon or whatever it is. There's supposed to be a good force on the internet or something. I haven't even been following it. But so if I butcher it, forgive me. But there's some kind of good source that's fighting against the bad guys. And all that stuff, and just like Trump supposedly is, which he's not at all, and I don't believe QAnon is, or whatever his name is, whatever it is. I think it's possibly Michelle Obama. This might be representing Michelle Obama. She might be actually doing that, and that's what this might be saying. And I think what's going on here too is I think this might be the Antichrist, and this is a serpent with a little eye, and then she may be this other serpent that's within another serpent here somehow. So these 2 serpents are together, or they're both in this one. I don't know, something like that. But I'm just getting this sense of that, that she is one of the serpents, and then he is what I said in my last video is Obama ends up winking at the girl Lily in the white dress, but no, I think he's actually winking at her because they're both married and they both know what's going on, and she could be QAnon or whatever QAnon, whatever its name is. Okay, so I think that's what's going on here. In my limited understanding, okay, again, I want to say this again. I am doing my best to analyze this from what I know. I might have huge gaps and stuff, and I might be hitting it right on. I don't know. So it's up to you to decide. But I'm just going to show you my interpretation at this point, and it may change by the hour as I'm looking at stuff. Okay, so here I want to show this. Okay, so this is a little bit better view and scope of the whole classroom here, the back wall here. Okay, so the next event he's going to show is he's going to point to the shark, and then he's going to point to the East Coast. Now this is important, so I'm going to show you this, but I want to show you these right now. Now look at these, see these snowflakes? I think these are 4 nuclear attacks on the United States, which this is the 3rd event. So we're talking about this event being the first, which they've burned all kinds of houses all over the country. So, but I'm saying this is the beginning of this second 9/11. So this is on the 13th, which was yesterday, and they burned all these houses. Massachusetts is ridiculous. Random houses, and they're saying there were gas leaks. I mean, are you kidding me? Give me a break. I mean, seriously. And then the next event is Hawaii, like I showed you. 3rd event, he's going to point to with this hand, and he's going to point over here to the East Coast. And I think what's the 3rd event is going to be nuclear attack, starting with a tsunami in New York, and then because he looks right at it, I'm going to show you that. And then there's eventually going to be nuclear attacks in New York, probably Florida, and then 2 other places in the United States. Okay? 2 other maybe military installations, I don't know. But that's why I think this means nuclear winter. That's why it's snowflakes. And how I know it's new, it relates to that is when you see the Statue of Liberty later, underneath her is the Star of David underneath the Statue of Liberty in New York, and these all have stars of David's on them. So that's, to me, links it to the attack on New York. So these will be, I think there'll be nuclear attacks, nuclear winter, basically, and that's what it's showing, I believe. Man, my voice is already going out because I'm tired. Anyway, let's keep going. So he's doing this stuff with this. He's pointing at these figures over here, which is these 12 boy figures, which symbolize 2017. And I don't know exactly what he's doing. I can't figure it out. JK had something on it, and I don't know. I can't follow his hand gestures. If you know something, let me know. But and the dragon's here. He wants to eat the child. The egg is cracking open, like I'll show you here in a minute with Obama. Okay, like I said, this is the 3rd event. So remember, we had this one, we had this in Hawaii with the 3rd thing, and then he's pointing to the shark, and he's pointing to the the East Coast. Now, keep in mind, he's pointing, his fingers are going like right up here. I think definitely right here. Okay, so that's Florida. So I think he's looking right at New York, right here. So there's a nuke that's going out there to cause a tsunami. There's going to be a nuke on Florida, and hey, it's crazy. I don't know if you remember seeing the press conference. I think it was in April that Vladimir Putin did this year, something like that, March or April. It might have been February. I can't remember. Somewhere in the beginning of this year. And he did some kind of press conference in Russia where he showed the Satan II missile and then the torpedo that's 100 megaton. There's like a remote control submarine, and that they're undetectable, and then the nuclear warheads are so fast, the nuclear rockets or something so fast that we can't detect them and all this. Very intimidating and on purpose. And in his demonstration to the people in Russia and in this facility or whatever, he showed it looked like Florida right here. It looked just like Florida, and missiles were coming down. And so that's another confirmation that he's pointing right to Florida. So we have New York. He's pointing with this finger Florida, and pretty much saying the East Coast. But then we might have 2 others representing these 2 other snowflakes. Okay, and then remember we have this thing, and then these 3, 3 things coming out here. Remember, so I think this is a double symbolism. Okay. This is the 3 for the 3 hurricanes, and then now he's pointing to a different event. Again, we had a chronology here. He's pointing to the next event, which is New York, Florida, and all that. And then I believe it's 1, 2, 3. You can't see it right now, but I can point to it later. And then 4. See these shapes? They're in this eye. So in this situation, before it was Hawaii was 3, but in this situation we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that one's in the eye. And then that confirms it with 4 snowflakes for nuclear winter. So we're talking about missiles. So this is kind of like, in a sense, shooting out missiles. So this kind of represents a gun. Crazy, weird people. Okay, shooting out a gun, like launching a missile or something like that. Okay, all right. So we go to the next thing. And then he's doing, see this right here in the background? So he's talking about, this is the first event. He's going back to the first event. He looked right at saw the house, the Massachusetts fire thing. And now he's doing with the first event right here. He's going back to this first event. And here's the hurricane. And that's hitting this coast right here of North Carolina, right? This is happening right here. And then I'll show you more confirmation of that. So he's spinning his head and stuff, his body, and his hands, I think, are representing waves and stuff. And that's what we've just been seeing when it hit landfall, Hurricane Florence. Okay, now watch this. Okay, and then immediately turns his head, and the first event while he's still doing it is right here, which was on the 13th. Hurricane Florence hit land, and this was happening on the 13th, and he looks right. He's looking right. His eyes are going right at this. And again, 1, 3, Massachusetts, M-A in the building here. And I was talking about this little structure, the porthole window up in the attic or whatever, and that's kind of assumed. And then, like I was saying earlier, his D went over here, and this looks like a D, and this may be the first event going from D, C, B, A. That's what I think it is. I think that's what I think it is. Okay. And then right here we have, this is a crazy too, because there's several parts where it cuts off right in here, and you just see this love backwards. Now this is what I think it is. Okay. Now we'll get into this first. So he looks at this next. He's still doing this hurricane on the 13th. He looks at the dead. He looks at the dead person right here. Watch. This is so intricate. Again, this is also multi-layered. Sometimes there's several messages in the same imagery. These are demons behind these people that made this, okay? They are very intelligent. They have multiple meanings. It's multi-layered. See, this is why I've spent so much time on this, because the Lord showed me that these are demons in this, and they are showing a lot of stuff. And this is a valid timeline because several things have already happened that this thing has basically shown ahead of time. Several things. I have a whole list of stuff like Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Jose, Trump getting out of the Iran nuclear deal by the exact day and time, May 8th at 2 p.m. That's in this. And I'm not going to get into that right now. J.K. Buggout does a whole thing on it. And there's other things. There's so many other things that are in this video years and years before it even happened. Trump's inauguration. Trump sitting on a chair with his hands in a triangle, like I showed on my last video. I mean, so many things, years and years and years before they actually happened, because they're behind these people in these events, and they're, all this stuff's in their pocket, and all this weaponry and this technology is in their pocket, okay? Here we go. So he's looking at a dead person here. Now he's looking at the fire again. Okay, so here we go. Okay, now we're on the last events. Okay, so he's basically hit here. Now we're going right to the last event, which is the shark again. Okay, and look here. He's looking at this. Okay, see right here. He's looking over here. Someone said, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he's one of my subscribers, and he said he's looking at the owl. I think it's looking at something more than that actually. So I want to show you here what I think he's looking at. I'm going to pause this and bring this in here real quick. Okay, and so Obama's looking at this, which is Allah's occultic wisdom, Molech, in Bohemian Grove, a lot of presidents and all these kind of people have been there in California where there's this huge owl structure and they're worshiping it at night and all this kind of stuff with a bonfire and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, what he's also looking at here is 923, or maybe it's like this, but look here. We see this 9. You can kind of complete it very easily. 2, and then it can either go like this, go 3 like that, or it can go 3 like that. 923. It's right there. Okay, a little bit obscured, but that's what they do. They hide things in there. He's looking at 923, and again, he's talking about that event, this event. Okay, so that's he's looking at the cultic wisdom of the owl, and there's 923 going from 9, also TO3, 2, 3. So they believe that the triangle, 9's at the bottom, 3's at the top, and then they go from, being just average and, human experience to being gods, and that's what they believe. So that's what this teaches as well. So let me go back to the video here. Okay, so we're back to Obama, and he's doing that thing with the pinky, like I'm innocent, but he's looking up at the 923, and then his tassel ends up hitting the shark several times. Again, the shark. This is the third. He's referencing the third thing that happens. Okay, which is the one in New York, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 snowflakes. With this being the big one, which is that Star of David under the Statue of Liberty, which we'll eventually see here soon. Okay, and so let me go to the next thing here. But you see his tassel. What's his tassel bounce around on the shark? Okay, so that's what's really going on. And now he's looking over, and he winks. He's winking to what I believe is possibly Michelle Obama, because she knows she knows exactly what he knows. Okay, and then this is that eclipse, and this is Mars, because war is coming. They know that as well. That's what he's going to be also winking about. And he hits the a dead person. So he hits the dead person with the tassel, and then it's the shark again, confirming that. And then let me show you this as well. So, okay, so this shark, okay, that's the submarine that's going to be the thing that causes all this destruction with the nuclear attacks. Okay, now I think there's several things going on here. So if you take this, this is 5. Oop. Hold on. Oh, I can't write on this one. That's right. But this is like 5. This is V, which is 22, and then this is 15. This is 12. Anyway, it ends up totaling 27 and 27. These two together is 27. These two is 27. And then you add 2 plus 7. When you total these up is 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. And then these end up being 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. And then 9 plus 9 is 18. And then 1 plus 8 is 9. Okay, so this equals 9. Okay, again, these two, this is 5. This is the 5th letter of the alphabet, E. This is the 22nd letter of the alphabet, V. So 5 plus 22 is 27. And this is the 15th letter of the alphabet, which is 15. This is the 12th letter of the alphabet. So 15 plus 12 is 27. So we got 27 and 27. Probably a lot going on here. So 27 and 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 and 9 is 18. 1 plus 8, because they keep adding these numbers together until they go to the basic form of it. And I showed that in my video about the pyramid that's on the back of the dollar bill and going from 9 to 3 and what they do. And then so that's 9. So just think of this as 9, okay? I can't write this because this is the video. I forgot. This is the video, so I can't write it. So, but think of this as 9 right here. So you have 9, and then guess what? The bottom of this thing right here, that's crazy. It's a W. And what is a W? A W is the 23rd letter in the alphabet. So you have 923, and you also have 9 right here again. And then you have, I believe this is X, which is a Roman numeral X, which is 10, 10. And I think there are a couple ways of looking at this is one line here, one line for the tongue, one line for the end of the tongue. So that's 3, 23. So 923, 923. And also you could say this is 20. And then you have hidden in here is a 3 right here, 3, 3. So I believe that's a 23. So 923, 923, confirming when the shark attacks on New York over here. Okay, and that's what he's showing right here, and he's laughing about it and everything. Let's keep going here. Watch this tassel. It's hitting now. He's hitting the building. Okay. Okay, wait. I want to show you this first here. Oop, a little bit far here. Okay, now. Okay, this is another confirmation of this. Okay, now he's showing, I believe, when the Hawaii attack is going to be. Okay, so it's on the same symbol. So we have dual meaning here. Remember I showed you the shark also represents the 3 hurricanes. So I'm going to show you something else here. We're going to go to these stills for a second. I'm going to show you 2 things. The confirming of the hurricanes and another part of IPEC goat, and confirming of the date in the shark so 2 confirmations of the 3 hurricanes and the date of the hurricanes in Hawaii. Okay, here's the first thing at 4444. Wow. So this is a confirmation of what you saw on the chalkboard. This is the phallic symbol, okay? And this is a hurricane because we have water here, water over here. This is a hurricane. This is how a hurricane looks. It billows up on top, and that causes the eye and the power and all that stuff. So you have this phallic symbol here, and then you have 1, 2, 3 hurricanes, and they're kind of starting to spin a little bit. 1, 2, 3, which I think this is Lane and Norman, and this is the last one. Or it could be this one. It could be the other way around because they're backwards. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. There's 3 of them. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then this is also represented as the third one, which is basically, again, this is like sperm. Okay, whatever, and then this is sperm coming out of this, touching this another phallic symbol, and that's what basically causes the Antichrist to be born. Okay, from here, it's multi-layered here, but again, we have a hurricane shown represented here. There's the year of the dog. This is 2018. There's a dog head right here, and I think this is another dog head / another symbol of this. It's just crazy. But there's 3 here that confirm. That's what's on the chalkboard. This phallic symbol, and you got the 3 different hurricanes. And so, again, this is Hawaii right here, okay? And that's the beginning of everything, okay? I mean, as far as the big event, the tsunamis. Let me go to the next thing here. Okay, and so we were at Obama, right? And he's like laughing right here. And then I'm going to show you in this. Okay, so this, again, we're talking about Hawaii now, the first event. And then this is, the first event is of course, back here behind his head is the Massachusetts fires here. And then this is the Hawaii event. And then this also secondly represents the New York and other East Coast events, okay? But here we're talking about the Hawaii event and how there's a date in this as well, okay? Let me show you. So things are upside down and backwards. So let me go to upside down and backwards on this. So this image, I'm going to make this image upside down and backwards. There it is, upside down and backwards. And in the image, you can see we have 8 teeth, 4 up here and 4 here, which is 8. And that's the lunar calendar, Chinese lunar calendar. We're at the 8th month. And then this is a 5 right here, 5. 8 teeth, because it's going to bite anyway. And then 5, there's a 5 right here. Again, upside down and backwards, it reveals a 5. Okay? And it's also possible, I'm just say this, it could be this evening, which is the 14th, and I'm going to show you this on the Chinese lunar calendar, or I think this could possibly be a 6, but it looks more like a 5 to me, but it kind of is looking like, or it could go 5th to 6th on the 8th month of lunar calendar, because they make it look like kind of like a 6 as well. So events can go over a couple days. It could, Kilauea could start going off or something. It could start tonight and go through another day, and then we have the disaster tsunami or something. I don't know. Or it could just be the 6th, or it could just be the 5th. That's just, I'm guessing out there, okay? Again, all this is speculation. I don't know the future. Don't say, oh, it wasn't right or whatever. I'm just speculating based on what I see. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't. Okay, so that's what that looks like to me. But that's just crazy. Do you see that the 5 or the 6 or the 5 and the 6 here? Now let me show you the calendar so you can see that. Okay, here's the Gregorian conversion to lunar calendar conversion table of 2018. Again, it's the Wushu year of the dog. Okay, and I'm gonna show you Wu here in pretty soon. And every year has a different name and a different symbol, animal symbol. Last year was the year of the rooster. There's another name for it. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But okay, so we basically have we're in the 8th month right here. And so remember, 9/11 was basically September, right here, and 11th was the 2nd. Okay, and we had those events happen in 9/11 and 8/2, the rituals and stuff. And then, so remember I said the 5, the 8 teeth, and then the 5. So 8/5, 8th month right here, 5th day is September 14th, which is today. September over here, 14th. That's the 5th. Now, if it's the 6th, then it's September 15th also, or just the 15th. So I'm saying either can be the 14th, which is this evening, and I'm going to tell you about the timing, which is absolutely crazy. And then, or it's tonight, or it's tomorrow night, or it's both nights when Kilauea starts going off, and it could take a couple days, and then the tsunami happens, and the East Rift Zone falls over the Helena Slump, causes a massive mega tsunami. So anyway, so you see that. Now we'll go back to the video here. Okay, we're back to that nugget Obama. Boom. Okay, see his tassel flip forward? Okay, and his tassel flipped forward. That means he's graduating from an ex-president to the Antichrist. That's what I know it means. And how do I know that? And again, his tassel, remember, it was going on the shark, showing the truth and everything when he was all being innocent and everything. The tassel is pointing to the dragon, and he's the dragon. And why? And I talked about this in my last video. Why does the president of the United States, the former president, have white gloves? A black man having white gloves, because those white gloves are simulating right there him eating an egg, and it's cracking, and you hear him making some sounds to it. He's talking about his laughing, but that's just a cover. So but the symbolism is that he's trying to eat something, the child, in a cracked egg. Okay, that's eggs cracking, and then his hands will change to praying hands, which is the child from Revelation 12 that the dragon's trying to devour, but it's caught up at the time when all this destruction happens. Okay, that's what's going on. So here's the tassel. Okay, and then they go to praying hands, which is really what's inside the egg, and the tassel's hitting the spot where the egg is going to crack. And the character that's shown later is I can't remember his name now, but he has an egg head, and then his egg head cracks open. There's a baby inside, and I'll show that to you later. I showed that in my other video, so maybe I don't need to. But the baby inside has praying hands. It is the child that's going to be born in heaven. Here comes Draco. He's trying to get in and eat it, and then he sees it's not there. Okay, that's later. But here is Obama doing this right now. Okay, and this is Lily. Okay, like I mentioned in my other video, this is the apple that falls. And I'm not going to get into much right now, I don't think, except that I see this is a tsunami wave here, and this is September. And I'm going to show you why this is the month of September. And then it kind of represents the month of September. We're looking at the 2018, but this is also representing September as well. It was September of 2017, but it also is September of 2018 in a sense. And you see a wave, and you see an island here, I think. And anyway, but it's connected to September. But there's a lot going on there. Okay, then right here, without getting too much, because there's a lot in here, I don't want this video it'll probably going to be 2 hours, I don't know. But this is 2017 back here. You got January, February, March, April, May. In the back row, June, July, August. The reason we know that is because August of 2017 was a solar eclipse. It's right there. Right there. It's a solar eclipse. Okay, and then this is it was in January, and so that was the yin year, and then we have the yang year this year, and there's the yin and yang symbol for the yin year, and then we have the yang year of 2018 this year, okay, which is symbolized by her, okay, and so this is also those 12 Thai boys that were trapped in the tunnel. And these are all false flags. It's crazy what they do. There's stuff on the back wall. This is April 1st. There's a little leaf it's touching April 1st, which was Easter. And there's stuff on the timeline back here. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but there's a lot going on here. There's Donald Trump with his hair part to the right or to the left of us, but to the right of him. And then he's sitting forward on a chair with his hands in a triangle position. If you look at pictures of him. And this is way years and years before he was made president, or even elected president. There's so much going on here. I don't want to get into all of it right now. Now draw your attention to something here. There's stuff going on in the dress here, and I saw something in here, and I'm gonna show you how it matches some other things that are going on in a date. Okay, let's go to the next thing here. Okay, so that represented 2017. Now 2017 is gone. Now we're on 2018. She's going to represent New Year and the apple falling, like the ball, watching the ball drop in New York, because that's the Big Apple. In the 80s, the ball dropped before that it was a ball, it was an apple, for the Big Apple. People watched the apple drop in the 80s, and then it changed to a ball. So this is New Year's right now, 2018. And the end. This is also the White Rabbit, but this is also April 1st in 2018, which is April, and then you got a little leaf there for the 1st. And that was, April 1st was Easter, represented by a rabbit. And then towards this time we're talking about, where Bush had the boom sign on his hand, which he was red, this is the exit door of this time period, or the end of this time period, which is the door going to the next room, which is red, which is nuclear attack, basically, in a sense, without getting into a bunch of other stuff. She's going to drop the ball in the new year, and she's dropping the ball over this section right here. We're dropping the apple over this section right here. Okay, right there. The ball rolls, or the apple rolls, and I believe these are moons. And you see the little moon spot passing for how many moons. I won't get into all that right now. Hits the foot of Obama, which I think simulates a submarine off the coast of Hawaii. This is Hawaii. It splits with this event. This is tsunami, and these go together. Okay, now I said this is 8. This is an 8 right here. Okay, and then we have several things going on. So again, it's lunar calendar LC, lunar calendar H. This is the 8th month in which we're in right now. Like I showed you, 8/2 was 9/11, and today is 8/5. Okay, that's the lunar calendar month of 8/5. Okay, we also have 8 here. We have 8. So this is the top part of the 8, the bottom part of the 8, or whatever. And we have also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines right here. So it could be 8/5 on 5 lines in the leaf. 8/5, which is today. There also may be a 6 in here that I don't see. So it could be 5 and 6, or it could just be 6, or it could just be 5. I don't know. But you see volcano. See, looks like this is a negative of the apple, a negative of the apple. But it looks kind of like how negatives can look like positives. But this looks kind of like it's kind of three-dimensional, and it looks like it could be a volcano spewing up at this time as well. And another one here. I don't know what exactly the difference between those two, but they kind of show a volcano, so Kilauea going, psh, basically, okay? And this is Hawaii, another confirmation of this being Hawaii, which is because it's 8, which is in the Gregorian, it's 8, it was August, and then 2, and then 1, 21. August 21st was when Hawaii became a state. Hawaii became a state in August 21st of 1959, 59 years later. In 1959, 59 years later, that's weird. Okay, and again, I think this is Obama's foot, and I want to watch this. Watch this. This looks like a missile coming from here, and it looks like a missile shape right there before it starts splitting. But it looks like a missile could be coming from a submarine underwater, shoots a missile or torpedo up, and it looks like a torpedo, and then watch it explodes. Boom. Which is also the blooming of the flower of the Antichrist, which is they're represented by a water lily, and then the girl's name is Lily as well. There's a lot of symbolism in all this. It's pretty crazy. Okay, now here's the new information here. So what I said in my last video, 2 videos ago I think, was this is the rain that's coming down for Olivia. And this is a V symbolizing 22. And Trump said on 9/12, I think it was, or was it 9/11? I think it was 9/12. I think it was 9/12. He said that he talked about Florence, he talked about all their preparations and everything, and he didn't specifically say which one it was for, but he said 22 inches of rain. And then immediately I'm like, oh my gosh, and I thought about this, and then I thought, hey, this could be another volcano right here, and it's spewing up kind of, because it's kind of lighter right here, and there's a volcano, maybe some lava coming out right here. It's a little bit more of a stretch, but it's there. It can be there. It really can. And then this is 22 inches of sweat drop, raindrop from Olivia, right? And there was a good amount of rain, around 20 some inches or more. Okay, and then I think so. This lady, Carenza, basically one of my subscribers mentioned about the waning. She said waning moons, crescent moons, and then that stuck in my mind all day yesterday, and I could not let it go. And I prayed. I was praying a lot, asking the Lord, and then He just kept popping into my mind. I could not let it go. And when I remember looking at this and seeing this, and she said this, and I was like, it's not as obvious that these are 2 crescent moons, okay? But yeah, they could be. I mean, that makes sense. And then, but I got more confirmation of this, and it just would not go away. I was like, and I felt like the Lord saying, this is important. She is right. And so they're actually waxing crescent moons. So waxing is when a crescent moon, on basically September 10th was the beginning of the new moon. And I'm going to go to that right now, actually. Okay, here are the September moon charts here. So I'm going to show you. This was yesterday. So this was the 10th. And so you have Feast of Trumpets was from here to here. In fact, this is the actual end of the Feast of Trumpets, and this is actually the beginning because this is when the new moon was sighted. And then right here we have waxing moons, it's called. And this is the first half or quarter moon. Okay, so we have waxing moons right in here. I can't remember if this is waxing. Actually, let me go to it. No, it's not this. Hold on a second. Oh. Anyway, right at 1 hour. These are at, I can't remember. Anyway, these are waxing moons. Anyway, this is key right here, okay, to several things. So I think Obama's eyes, the white of his eyes, represent probably the 14th or maybe even the 15th. It's one of the two, okay? So that's why I'm like going 5th or 6th of the 8th month, which is the 14th or 15th, tonight or tomorrow night. Okay, so that could either be the whites of his eyes there or there. Okay, and there's more evidence. It's crazy. So that's what I wanted to show you, what the moon cycle is and what's going on with the moons. So another thing about this, so I was wondering why they actually showed his face, and it looked like he's concerned. And then someone actually said, and I've thought about this many times, why would Obama look concerned and sweat dropping down if he's the Antichrist? Well, this is all symbolism. It's to show imagery and things. It's not all taken exactly. Different things mean different things. So I think he's looking down, looking concerned, and sweating just so you think it's something else. But he's really showing what's really going on. And he needed to show the whites of his eyes more, looking down, being concerned, looking back and forth. And him looking back and forth a couple times means something too. And I don't know what it means. If you know what it means, maybe he's looking at the apple, then he's looking at something else. I don't know. But anyway, that means something. But let's keep going. Okay, now we're zooming out. Man, my voice. Okay, so we're zooming out, and then this is the windows here. Okay, I want to show you something here. So remember I said, he is lightning falling from heaven. The name Barack Obama is Hebrew for lightning falling from heaven. Okay, his name was originally Barry Soetoro or whatever, and he's had other names too. So he's the Antichrist. Are you kidding me? His name, Barack Obama, means, Jesus said it in Luke 10, I see Satan as lightning falling from heaven, or lightning falling from heaven is Barack Obama. Okay, so he's named that. And then, by the way, he signs his name, Obama, with this O with a line through it. Look it up. I don't want to pull it up right now, but his initials or his signature has this with a line through it. So this is showing more about what that is, okay? And that this is how he signs his name. He is lightning falling from heaven. He is also, his name in Gematria is 623. And 623 is 923. He is the Antichrist. And again, this is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, top to bottom. He's in this quadrant here next, this top 2, and then he's right here. He's the third one. So he's 623. He is 623. We'll get into more here. Oh, by the way, there's a light over here, and when this starts moving, watch this. It looks like a hurricane moving when this light reflects on it from over here, from to the left. Watch this. You can't really see it. Let me go a little bit. Let me do a little bit faster. Let me do it a little bit slower. Now watch this. Watch this light over here move moving like a hurricane. It's hard to see here maybe, but it's moving like a hurricane. It's crazy. The reason why I show that, this is moving like a hurricane. The structure on the wall, or the pattern on the wall, or the relief on the wall, when this light over here shines on here, it looks like a spiraling hurricane. If you get a chance to look at the video close up, it's crazy. Now, let me show you what my daughter found. This is amazing. Okay, right up here, it's hard to see right here, but I'm going to show you a close-up of it. She saw this, and she's like, oh my goodness, Daddy, I think I know what that is. And then we zoomed in on it, and let me show you what that is. But first, remember, he was looking down at the apple. It was Hawaii. I could have drawn again on the apple before it split, the volcano and it spewing the lava on the apple, but I didn't because I've shown it in other videos. Okay, and he was from Hawaii, and I show you that Hawaii was 8/21, 1959, and you got that whole thing. Okay, watch what this is. Okay, actually I have a still shot that's a little bit better than the video. And you might be able to see it here a little bit better. Just thinking about what this might look like to you right here. And then now I'm going to go to it. So again, that image was backwards. So what does that look like something here? Look, I have it right here. I mean, it's a little distorted, of course, and it's a few more dots, but this is Hawaii. Got the big island right here. You have this, it looks like a bust of a man. Maui looks like a bust of a man. You see this bust of a man. There's an island right here. There's an island up here. You got some up here. This is Hawaii, and this is right above him in the window. He is from Hawaii. There's another confirmation. Again, they don't make these things exactly look alike because they kind of have them hidden a little bit, but they have this. You got to have a little bit of an imagination, slightly, but you got to see what they're doing. They're hiding stuff in plain sight, as they say. Okay, now we're zooming out of here, and you have Psalm 23. Psalm 23 means a lot. Right after Bush's speech, right after 9/11, I don't know if it was the same year or the next year, but he quoted Psalm 23. And then Barack Obama, 10 years later in his speech, where he didn't even quote the scripture, which was Psalm 46, he said, I will be exalted among the nations, I will be whatever. And he basically said it like he was God. And he didn't even quote Psalm 46. It's crazy. Watch the video. Obama 10-year anniversary of 9/11 or whatever. It's crazy. And he's basically saying, I am God, I will be exalted among the nations, and all that kind of stuff. So you have Psalm 23 by Bush. You have Obama 10 years later doing Psalm 46. And then recently Trump on 9/11 at the Tower of Voices Memorial in Pennsylvania on 9/11, he shared a story about a lady because there was a that crash had happened and her husband died and she wanted his wedding ring, and she said the year of his wedding ring or something was, forget, it was 8/2/69. It's crazy. So this is code. This is all code. So President Bush, Psalm 23, 2-3. President Obama, Psalm 46. And then Trump, 69. He didn't want to say a Bible verse because he doesn't like to say Bible verses for some reason at all. And you can see when Obama's reading off the teleprompter, he was just not liking it. I could tell. So you have 23, which is 23 chromosomes, and then you have another 23, which is 46, which is 46 chromosomes, which is 2 from each parent, which that's what that means. And then another 23 chromosomes is 69, a third DNA strand. So they're talking about the mark of the beast. If you know anything about this, this is the mark of the beast is going to be a third DNA strand. When you take the mark, it's going to alter your DNA, and you're going to have a third, not you, but anybody who does, hopefully not another Christians that are still here will take it, but some may. I don't know how that's going to work exactly. I have some theories and stuff, but I think the bride of Christ will be leaving, and then other Christians who are not walking with Jesus and don't know him are going through a lot of trial during this time, and then they're going to be taken up. It's going to be a second rapture. Okay, and I'm not getting all this right now about that, okay? But I'm just saying I wanted to explain this. So that is a third strand of DNA, and that's what these people are talking about. They're talking about taking the mark. So we have all three presidents on 9/11 talking about adding them up, 23, 23, and 23, taking the mark of the beast. And it's going to change your DNA. It's going to make you kind of like a little bit like the Borg on Star Trek. I mean, your body's going to keep going, but with technology, little nanoparticles and stuff inside you that change your DNA, but you may not technically die, but you won't be the same kind of person. You'll be a completely like zombie-ized kind of person and be controllable completely. And I won't get into all that. I know a ton about all this stuff. Okay, so I don't know why I did that segue there, but a little rabbit trail, but I wanted to talk to you about what Psalm 23 really is. And then right here you have 6, hidden in here, 623, which is Obama's number, and then lightning coming out of that, that was that reflection we saw. So lightning falling, he is 623. There's other things in here I'm not going to get into. That's his symbol that he signs his name, Obama, with a line through it. Look up his signature. It's crazy. And then let's go out here. Keep going. Speed this up. Okay, see that? The flag's being ripped in half, and there's one star. I've said this in my other videos. There's one star, and I believe this is Hawaii. So what I believe is going on here in this section right here, we're talking about Hawaii because he was looking down at the apple. But we have 2 timelines here. We have Hawaii, which is shown here by this. And then if you listen to you can't hear what I'm doing here, but if you listen to it yourself, you can hear the clock chime twice for 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. I think it's 2 a.m., but it chimes twice. But it's at midnight. So what I believe that means is it's midnight for one event, 2 a.m. for the other event. Okay, but they're kind of blended together because they're two tsunami events, and they're blended together. So this is showing the Hawaii event, and why? Because Hawaii is a one star, one state, and it's going to end. It is going to be end being a state. And what other state in the whole country could end by one event? That's Hawaii, because a tsunami would just wipe it out. Okay, and that's the one here. So then, but in the foreground, we're going to have Hawaii stuff, and also in it, somewhat mixtured with the New York stuff, and in the background, definitely all New York stuff. Okay, so I'll show you that, what that is. Again, here's the flag ripped up, and recently we had this on the footage on Cape Fear. We had a flag being ripped to shreds when Florence came in. If you've seen any of that footage of Cape Fear in North Carolina, that was not by accident. This flag was ripped to shreds because it's symbolizing the flag of the United States or the country being basically destroyed, and it's just starting. And that was the 13th when all these events are starting. 13th is showing the fire in Massachusetts and all that stuff on these buildings. And for some reason, they use it as a symbol of the starting of all these events of the second 9/11. Okay, and in the background here, you see. Let me go back a little bit more. Actually, right here. Let me go back a little bit more. Okay, in the snow. Remember, this is the 2018 Wushu year. J.K. Bugout found this. It's Wu, W-U, W in the snow, which I believe this is all nuclear winter. That's why it looks like snow, but I think it's really ash probably, but it looks like snow. And it's symbolizing, of course, nuclear winter. And then we have 12 months. These sections of windows are 2017 and 2018, and there's stuff here. But 2018 is on the bottom because that's where Obama was. Okay, and this is 2018 on the bottom, 2017 up here. We had the rose behind. Lily was 2017, she was 2018. This is Wu, W-U. We're in the month or the year, Wushu year of the dog. There's Wu right there. Okay, in the background we have a shark here, and then we have a huge tsunami hitting New York, and then part of the tsunami right here is a shark with an eye. It's just a big tsunami hitting New York. Let me show you more about New York here. Okay, what I believe this is, I think because this is more gray, I think this is probably like a blend of both Twin Towers, and then you see two sets of smoke, and then looks more like greenish and more new, and this is actually a combination of Freedom 1 Tower, I believe, and Statue of Liberty, because it's got breasts here and it's got a tablet, and this wave is going to hit Manhattan first, which is going to be the Freedom 1 Tower and the Statue of Liberty, Statue of Liberty is first, and the Freedom 1 Tower is right behind it. And this thing is going to hit those and destroy them, symbolizing the first 9/11, second 9/11 and then this is going to be a wave that's going to destroy this. And there's the shark, which is a Aquila class, it's a submarine example of that, a symbol of that. See, so it's almost like two towers, like the Twin Towers, but these are both two towers, and this is what's going to happen with the tsunami. And then lights are going to go out. See, these lights went out. These lights just went out. And an EMP, I believe. There's a lot more going on in here, and I'm not going to talk about some things I know, a lot of things I don't. Speed this up a little bit. By the way, like I said, if you see something you think is pertinent, let me know. I'd like to know in comments. Okay, and like I showed in my last video, this is Osama bin Laden hitting Hawaii. This is Hawaii. I showed in my last video. This is the spear, which is lane really means a Gaelic spear. And then this is Olivia, the olive of the olive tree, olive branch with a leaf. And this is the dove, and it's kind of floating up above the water. So kind of representing a dove flying maybe. And so let's keep going. And I believe this is representing the ship or whatever, maybe the sub that's there. It's about to shoot missiles or torpedoes or something at Helena Slump, and they're represented by ISIS. This could be maybe even blamed on Iran. I don't know, because he kind of symbolized that. But remember I said before that the submarine could be CIA, because NASA doesn't really own subs that I know of. And I talked to a guy who worked for NASA, and he was a military guy in the Navy, and he said that NASA doesn't really own subs, but the CIA does. So he's got a CIA badge, Osama, and he's raising his hands up. Now this is super important. This is another thing that confirms these waxing moons. Here is a waxing moon. And remember, I showed you the 14th and 15th is this. The 15th looks like the bigger moon, possibly, but it still could be the 14th. And I thought this might be an eclipse, but no, it's a waxing moon. And we're just happen to be in this time. And again, this is a huge, remember, it's over the water. Oh, 1 second here. Sorry, I hit something there. Okay, this is live. So remember, he's over the water, and this is a huge hurricane, which I believe was Olivia, which is going to be blamed for this in a sense. And this is about to begin. And this is a waxing moon, okay, which is either tonight or tomorrow night. That's my guess. I'm more inclined to think tonight, but it could be tomorrow night, being the 14th or the 15th or both. And then this is crazy. He's lifting his hands. And someone mentioned this, and I actually thought about this at the same time, or just right around this time, right before I think she mentioned it. But his hands are going up, and I think he's saying tsunami. And then so all these flakes are from a volcano. So the tsunami, there's several things going on in this scene right here. There's a hurricane with an eye right here. You got the waxing moon, which is today or tomorrow. It could be the 16th as well. I mean, that's kind of a sort of a crescent-shaped moon as well. But I'm going to stick to 14, 15 right now. And I'm really curious what Julian has on his, what he's saying today. I'm so curious right now, which I have no idea. And he's bringing his hands up. It kind of reminds me of the opposite of Jesus. Like when he was on the sea, he put his hands up and said, quiet, quiet. But he's causing a storm, or he's causing a tsunami by putting his hands up. And he's in a trance. You'll see as he's in a trance and whatever. And this is all symbolic. And I'm not completely sure what all this he symbolizes, but this is all going on. And the reason why I thought this was the blood moon possibly earlier, but the reason why this is like red is because whenever you're in, I've heard testimony of stuff of ash, when ash is in the air, the moon and the sun look red. Same thing with a lot of people that have been in all these fires and stuff all over the country in the last few months and this last year. They say that the moon, and I've seen it here. Where I'm at, we have all these clouds and stuff that are from the wildfires and stuff. And God, the moon and the sun look red, or this color right here. So that's from an eruption. That tells me eruption of Kilauea is definitely happening, or fissurate, or maybe Mauna Loa, but I think it's fissurate or Kilauea because the Helena Slump is going to fall. Okay, so here he is doing this. This is crazy. This is some crazy new information here. So he's bringing the tsunami wave up. Okay, I showed this already in my last video, big video. Okay, and then this drop of oil, which I don't know exactly what it means. It might be the Straits of Hormuz getting closed up or something, or it might be something else. But it causes a tsunami, and then we see here, missed it here, but it's 321. I showed my other video, 321, and then we basically see this. We see, it's hard to see right here, but this looks like a relief of a hurricane, and then here's Hawaii, and that was on 9/11. This turned into 611 or 6/11. So on my other video, more detailed. I just don't want to spend the time because this is going to be like 3 hours if I do. But this is 6/11 or 911 backwards and upside down. And then right here, if you squint your eyes, it looks like HI, because this is the transition going from this scene to the one in New York. Okay, so I'm getting to some big stuff right here. Wow, that I just found recently. So there's a lot going on with this. We have that little hurricane symbol right here and right by Hawaii on 6 or 9/11, and that was true. It was right here. Trump had a speech about on 9/11, and then the reverse of this is 11/9, 11/9, which is when he was inaugurated. The difference between these two is this. Oh, yeah. Anyway, it says 6 backwards 7 and 1. So that difference between when Bush was inaugurated at 11/9, November 9th of 2016, 16, and 9/11, 2018 was 671 days, which is right there. And so that is all a false flag as well. And so you have Hawaii right here. Again, you squint your eyes right here and look at this. It's HI. It also represents the island. Now we're transitioning. Hopefully you get all this stuff I'm saying, because I'm trying to talk and my voice is going out. Anyway, here we go, and I'm tired. Okay, now this represents, I believe, the tsunami right here, the tsunami wave. And a while back when I didn't know this was Hawaii, and this Alicia CB pointed out, God bless you, Alicia. Thank you so much. This has helped me a lot. This is the tsunami wave, and guess what? It hits it right here. This is the first event. Again, this is a timeline, I believe. It's showing the tsunami wave, and it's assumed that this is going to hit New York at some point. Now, these are not linked together. These are different coasts, but this is just a symbolism, okay? There's going to be a tsunami wave that hits Hawaii, and there's going to be a tsunami wave that hits New York. But these are just kind of put together as a symbol of a timing. And this is what I believe is going on here. So I believe this is showing 2 o'clock. You got the long big hand and you got the small hand. Big hand at 12, small hand at 2. And you see a little tick here for 2. 2 o'clock in the morning, I believe. Okay, and so what that means is, as this is happening right here, it's going to be 2 o'clock in New York, but it's going to be, guess what, 8 p.m. in Hawaii. This could happen tonight. So 2 o'clock in the morning, New York or Eastern time. And then my time is Mountain Time, so that would be midnight Mountain Time. And then wherever you're at, I don't know, wherever you're at in the world, or United States or whatever, you figure it out from there. But 8 p.m. Hawaii time, tonight or tomorrow night, this event's going to happen, I believe. Okay, now again, I could be wrong. This is speculation. Take that with a grain of salt, all this. Okay, so this is 2 a.m. This, again, I think this is saying a time right here. Okay, there's also in this is crazy. There's also other things in this. There's other things I haven't found. Again, there's the white rabbit, I think. Follow the white rabbit. This might be something else as a figure. It might be a rabbit too. Anyway, but there's something else here, and I want to show you this. This is crazy. This confirms the date of the final attack on New York that we saw before in a few places. Let me show you. Okay, now remember I was talking about there's something going on with her dress right here, but it's upside down, okay? And then remember that New York scene we just saw with the Statue of Liberty. Now I'm going to put these together and show you a similar date that looks so similar, it's crazy. Watch. Okay, that was her dress, and now you see this, and now we're going to put them together. Watch. Okay, look at this. So this is her dress, and it's upside down. And this is right off the Statue of Liberty, north or just above it. Okay, this is what I believe it's saying. And you know what? I'm going to try this if I can. Let me try this if I can do it. Nope, didn't work. Hold on. Sorry, again, I can remember now. I can write on this. Oh man, I'm not super technical all the time. And again, I'm doing this live. So, okay, so what this is saying, I believe, and I think these are two confirming it. Hold on to your, buckle up here. 2, 3, 2, 3, and here's the kicker: 9 backwards, 9 backwards. Does that confirm each other or what? And remember, Obama was looking at 923 by the owl, and 923 is all over the place. And I had this dream that I've shared in my other videos of 923, America is laid low. I believe this could be the last event that annihilates the United States as probably four nuclear attacks, New York, Florida, and two other places possibly, and that tsunami wave included in that hitting New York. Maybe that's the first part of it. I don't know, but 9/23 is the date. So what I believe is going on here is tonight or tomorrow night we're going to see the tsunami wave from Kilauea erupting, causing the East Rift Zone to fall over Helena Slump, causing a mega tsunami that destroys most of Hawaii and heads towards the west coast, and like 100 to 200 foot wave that hits the west coast, starting pandemonium in the United States. And then we have the second event, which is going to be fomented by and covered by days later by this Florence going through the East Coast, going up to New York, and shortly after that, New York being hit by attacks, okay, from subs as well, something along those lines, okay. This is crazy, okay. This is absolutely crazy, and I believe that's what I found, and the moons confirm it. So I'm gonna go to the next thing. So, man, just realize this. This is crazy. Okay, again, here is the Statue of Liberty with the 2 a.m. thing, I think. And then the wave's getting closer to it. See? The wave's getting closer now. And then this thing is underwater. And again, this is the Star of David, I believe. And that's what's in those. This is the final event. And that's what's the basis of those snowflakes, is this pattern or this symbol. Okay? And so here we go. And this is still 9/23 right here. Here we go. Okay, now, this is another vortex. Again, Statue of Liberty is on an island, okay, and over water. What is a storm over water? A hurricane. So this could be Florence, or maybe there's another one that comes into play. I don't know. This could be Florence eventually going over New York at that time, which is in days from now. It's about a week or more, whatever it could be. It's traveling up the East Coast slowly, going like 6 miles an hour or less or something like that. So, and I think this also represents, if we go back a little bit, the portal closing. And like I said, the child, and I is going to show you this. There's a child that's in an egg with his hands praying. And this is, again, this is paralleled. So you have the birth of the Antichrist at this time with this attack with these tsunami waves, symbolizing the breaking of the water and birth, and a blossoming of a flower. Florence is blossom or flowering, right? And then we have this. Watch the light disappear in the vortex. The light disappears. So we go dark here as the light leaves and the bride of Christ is taken up on 9/23/18. Yes, I'm saying it. 9/23/18. I'm speculating still. But I had a dream about America is laid low. 9/23, America's laid low. Are you kidding me? Are you watching this? Are you getting this? Please. There is a lot going on here. The arm falls off. Now here's the child in the egg that's about to be birthed. And he's praying hands. And here's the serpent coming to try and get it. Here's Draco looking to devour it. That's the character in the beginning with the claws and the bloody hand. He's looking through a television monitor because he's watching. Speed this up a little bit. I'm going to go through a little bit of this. All-seeing eye. That's the character. That's the Draco. It was kind of like money, the god of money and all that stuff too. He's in the computer screen. He's looking to devour the child. And this is the child was in this egg head. And the egg is cracked open like you showed Obama with the cracked. And now he's looking for the child. He's looking. He's going to devour it. He's happy. But he sees it's not there. He looks and he's about to eat it. And now this is war. Markets plunge. War happening. War's happening. Boom. Strike. I don't know what all this means. I think this is a head wound. This is someone's Obama's face probably. Okay, a striking of a mosque. I'm not sure what this means exactly. There's some theories. This is a ritual dance. This is a child that was killed, and then this may be the erupting of Kilauea, possibly, or a nuclear bomb. This looks like a mountain, like a. That's the beetle that represents resurrection. Head wound. Okay, this is crazy. This looks like islanders to me. Me and my wife saw this. It looks like this is the lava in the care. This may be Pele, and she's pregnant. She's got a belly right here, and this over here says lava. In here, it also says this A in the lava. It also looks like an HAW, and I think this is an AII. I think this is Hawaii, lava Hawaii, and these are islanders. If you see any more stuff, let me know, please. But this is definitely this is a timeline right here. And then it stops erupting, and then the lava stops flowing, and the lava goes out. Watch. Okay, there's a big representation in this as well. This is a flower that only blooms on when it rains. By the way, okay, right by him, let me show you this real quick. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. He's untying the belly, so it's pregnant, I guess. And in Russia recently, there's this green stuff in the river or something. I don't know if that has something to do with it, but someone was saying something else about this. But watch this. Ah, I missed it. Sorry. Okay, right here. Okay, so he's looking around, he's looking at different stuff, and right here a B forms, right here, B. And so I forgot to mention, when the apple rolls and there's the LC, the C is a C, that's an event. The D was an event that happened last, which is the nuclear attack. And then C was the next to happen in reverse order, which C is the tsunami wave and the Kilauea explosion, or the eruption. And then this is a B, so we're going DCB, whatever this means. I cannot remember what someone said about this. Let me go to it really quick. Okay, so I'm going to go fast forward to here. I was going to show you something else, but I'm running out of time. My battery's about to die and all this kind of stuff. So, and it's getting kind of long anyway. So I'm going to end this here. I got the main important things out, but I want to get this out here. Very important. So the birth of the Antichrist is coming out of this mosque. This boy is flying out. Now watch this, where we're at on this whole thing. So this is the Antichrist being born from the dead, from a head wound. He is the Mahdi. That's representing the 12th Imam, or the Mahdi, on a full moon. On a full moon, people. Okay, which is the 24th. The full moon from here, from now, is the 24th. Let me show you this. Let me show you this here. I'm going to pause this and show you. Okay, so here, here's the 24th right here. 24th is a full moon. It's technically a full moon. Remember, I said 9:23 at 12. I'm sorry. Okay, so I didn't really say this. So remember the 2 a.m. and then 8 p.m. It also shows on two clocks. One in the room above the chalkboard in the classroom, and one on the clock tower. Even though the clock tower does strike 2, you hear it 2. The clock tower says 12. So there's two symbolisms going on there. There is two times. The one that you show that it shows the Statue of Liberty at 2 a.m. and then 8 p.m. on in Hawaii is the tsunami time for Hawaii, and then the 12 midnight is midnight of 9:23. Okay, it's midnight of 9:23 right here, and then right away at midnight 9:23 the destruction starts. The next day happens, which is the birth of the Antichrist, which is the kid flying up on the full moon. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Now I'm going to end with this. This is what happened to me a few hours ago when I was at my last half hour at work, and I could not believe it. And I want to show it to you real quick. Okay, I want to set this up. This is going to be the last thing I show because I got to cut this off. I don't want it super long, and I've got my point across on several things. So I'm at work, okay, and we're a nonprofit, and we sell things for people's housing and all that kind of stuff. It's an awesome nonprofit, and you would not believe what happened today. It was a couple days ago, we had these 2 barrels come in, and they were, and I didn't even think about this until just when I'm doing this, right before I do this, or actually later on I thought about this, and what these are. These were olive barrels, olive barrels. Oh, this is crazy. I was asking Lord for confirmations of what I was saying of 2 different time frames, and I wanted to know if 9:23, 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. was the time, and then 2 a.m. For the tsunami in Hawaii. And so I got a double confirmation here. These are olive barrels. 2 came in a couple days ago. 1 was bought, and I didn't even think about this at all. And then a few hours ago, when I was about to had a half hour left of work, this happened, and I noticed this, and I could not believe it. I'm going to show you. And I had my coworker confirm this is what happened. I didn't get a chance to set this up. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. It's kind of choppy, but he witnessed that this is true. And when these came in a couple days ago, I'm going to show you this. I'm just going to cut to the chase here. But right here, if you look to this, I'm sorry, it's sideways. I haven't had a chance to change this. Like I said, I got home from work. I ate. Look at this. I could not believe this. And he confirms this in this video. 9:23:12:01. And I was just blown away. This came in just like this, and I ended up I brought this in from outside. We were about to close in about a half an hour. I looked down at this. This was marked from the people who did this. These are olives from Greece, Olivia. That's one, but the other time frame was the one in New York, and I wanted to confirm that. So I have 2 different time frames, and this is the one for the one in New York, on 9:23 at 12 a.m. But 12:01 is just God's saying that's at that time it's going to happen to people are going to feel the impact of the destruction, and then we, which are the body of Christ, are going to be leaving. This is crazy. I could not believe this. I'm telling you, and you, unless you were there, I cannot explain how incredible that was. And I'm sorry it's sideways here, but I just want to end with this. This is about to happen. This stuff's about to happen either tonight or tomorrow night. 2 a.m. Eastern time, which is 8 p.m. Hawaii time, I believe. I'm speculating about all this. Like I said, I don't know the future. I've had crazy dreams and different things, and Lord's been showing me all kinds of stuff and this stuff. But I'm asking you to pray. I'm asking you to pray for people. I'm asking you to see whatever you can see and let me know. But right now, I mean, we just got to warn as many people as possible. So get this to as many people as possible. Have as many people as you can watch this, especially if you know anybody in Hawaii. I don't know how much time they even have and what anybody can do from an island right now. So, but do whatever you can, or ask the Lord whatever you can do. That's always the key. Get close to Jesus. He's the answer. Without Jesus, we're all lost. And I'm telling you, people who are going to leave on 9:23, there may be some people leave before then. I'm not going to get into all that right now, and I don't want to have a big argument or anything about that. But I just want to say the biggest thing is warn people. Destruction's coming. We're in the Ark Dream. If you haven't looked at my We're in my Ark Dream video, watch that as well. This talks about this time right now that's going on right now. We're right before the destruction, and we'll have a limited time to get more people on the ark, to get people to Jesus, and then the bride of Christ is leaving. Okay, so I bless you. I thank you. In Jesus' name, Father, I just thank you for blessing all this. I thank you for multiplying these people and their salvation and their awareness. And I just thank all of you, every one of you that's a subscriber. And I ask you to just get this to as many people as possible. In Jesus' name, amen. This is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.